Welcome everybody to the Sunset. I'm tweaking today, man. I'm so excited. Welcome to everyone to the Sunset Flip Wrestling Podcast. You're on for all wrestling, everything wrestling. So just me today. Everybody's occupied, super hectic all week. So I'll be running today's show. So Brandon's in the house. Yeah, it's been one hell of a week. We have even more stuff going on this weekend because it is officially Wrestlemania weekend. So this is going to be one hell of it. I don't care what y'all got going on. I don't know, NBA playoffs is going on, baseball's going on, hockey's about to kick off like, I don't know, Monday or Tuesday. So just like, whoa, like this is good. This is a lot going on, middle of April, but we're here. We are here. We are finally at this point in time where the year is coming to an end on WrestleMania, the wrestling season for WWE. And yeah, WrestleMania in Vegas, yeah, baby. So I don't know, man. This is dope. I don't know how everybody feels, but me personally, WrestleMania, like for me, it's WrestleMania. I love SummerSlam. Something important. I think the Royal Rumble is always, the four pillars of WWE when it comes to pay-per-views, not the PLEs, but SummerSlam, Survivor Series, the Royal Rumble, and Mania are always like much needed, right? So we're at a point in time now where it's like, well, shit, what we got cooking up? I know there's a lot going on. Everybody's like, ooh, Triple H, ooh, boo hoo, it's just not working. Like everybody's complaining what's going on. At the end of the day, no matter how much you love or hate the progress going on now, or how much you love or hate who's booking, who's doing this, who's doing that, it does not matter because you're gonna watch anyways if you can get it, because everybody knows that ESPN and WWE are in bed together, or TKO and ESPN are in bed together, a whole bunch of shit. I understand why we got to pay all this money, but if you can find a stream, go to a friend's house, go to a bar and watch it, whatever the case may be, right? Just get your hands on a subscription package or whatever you can to watch Mania, because we are here and it is going to be a beautiful weekend, right? Because who doesn't love wrestling, especially during Mania season, right? So let's get right into it. So for anybody who doesn't know, the first two matches on both night one and night two will be live on ESPN, the first hour. Hopefully we get through two matches. You don't want to have like a quote-unquote pre-show going on and all of a sudden climax of a match and all of a sudden, boom, cut off. And all of a sudden, damn, like we're not seeing stuff. You know what I mean? So the fact that we get a chance to actually have a free hour, which I think is honestly grateful. I mean, granted, I think for what they're charging for Mania on ESPN, I think is a bit much. I'm not sure, but if you're charging $60 for WrestlePalooza to watch Cena get squashed in under 2 minutes by Brock Lesnar, I think that's going to be it's a hard sell. You know what I'm saying? But this is Mania, so $60, $100, whatever it is for night one, night $50 for both nights, night one, night two. So it equates to $100 for the weekend for one event. It could be the case. But if not, take the first two matches, the first hour live on ESPN2. So let's get to it. So we have Logan Paul, Austin Theory, whatever's left of, the Vision. It's been I don't know how they fucked that up, but it is what it is, right? Logan Paul, Austin Theory, and IShow Speed versus LA Knight and the Usos. I don't know why it pops up saying, LA Knight. That might be my bad, but I will. Yeah, it is what it is. It's the heck thing going on. But we are good to go. So let's get right. Let me get this. Little error on my end, you feel me? But we are gonna be good to go. Add the banner. Why isn't it adding? This is not good. So yeah, there we go. So I don't know how y'all feel about this because the Vision has really tanked. What's left, could have had Seth Rollins involved, but there's no Seth Rollins involvement. And it just comes off like, like, what are we doing? I guess it's just like a filler match because you have such a nasty breakdown from what was once a good storyline, uh but it just didn't work out how everybody wanted to, for whatever reason it may be. So you have the idea of having, a storyline built around Braun Breaker becoming that, right? Becoming the next face, but he gets hurt. Then you have Bronson Reed, he gets hurt. And now you're down to Austin Theory and Logan Paul, in which you had a situation where you could have had that going forward, right? But this looks like it's gonna shit the bed. What was that? I forgot there was a faction that was led by Mustafa Ali years ago. That was absolutely abysmal. I think that was the end of Mustafa Ali in WWE, right? And that was bad. I think this is going to be trending in that direction as well. This has just been terrible. So you're putting the Usos, who had they had a great theme, right? And then they changed it to a different one, which wasn't half bad. And then the fans hated it. Now they're changing it back again. You got LA Knight, who I think has been the whipping boy for Triple H and the rest of WWE because he has so many botches and so many bad matches going forward. So his values are super, super low. So you bring in ISO Speed, who's one of the biggest, if not the biggest, content creator in the world. So you putting more eyes on the business, more eyes on WrestleMania, right? And he's on ESPN too. So like, why, why not? Who says no to having this go on? That being said, do the Usos really care? Is it matter if the Usos winning or losing? I don't know. LA Knight needs a win bad. Logan Paul and Theory need a win even more so than anybody in this, because if they don't win anything, then this whole group means nothing, right? And Speed will be there. You don't bring somebody to get mutilated. I mean, he did get mutilated by Braun Breaker last year at the Rumble, but that's neither here nor there now. That was a year and a half ago. So I'm going to go with Speed, Theory, and Paul winning this. I think it's for LA Knight. I am a fan, but I think his run is now done. He'll be a bottom feeder for a while until it's time to say, hey, you know what? We're going to go and give you a shot again, however long the line it may be. I think he deserved the title shot a long time ago. That's neither here nor there, so I think that's done with. But yeah, I got Logan Paul, Austin Theory, and ISO Speed winning the first match. I think they're kicking off WWE with that. So I'm, hopefully. If not, the other match that'll be involved in the free hour will be Jacob Fatu versus Drew McIntyre in an unsanctioned match. This match is going to be a slobber knocker. This is going to be an absolutely disgusting heavyweight battle. I am going to go with Jacob on this. I think Drew getting his belt was like, hey, you won it during COVID. Thanks for holding it down for the brief period of time for what it is. And yeah, I think that's going to be just something they move forward with and call it a day for. So I think as great as match is going to be, I think Jacob gets a premier win in the shows, right? This is the greatest show in wrestling, right? It's been there for 42 years. Why would it not be anything bad? You can't really tank a WWE pay-per-view, right? You can't really tank WrestleMania, right? You can have bad events. You can't really tank WrestleMania. So hopefully with these two matches free, maybe it'll be, something of value, right? So we move on to another match we'll be on. Obviously, I think this is going to be the main event of night one. It's Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton, who has Pat McAfee on his side for the WWE Championship. I don't know what's going on. This has been probably the most polarizing conversation in the wrestling world. Are the fans is the wrestling group, is the internet, is the wrestling community tired of Cody Rhodes? Is it like Is it wrestler's fatigue? Is it something where it's like you're like, as much as they're forcing the idea, like the way they did Roman Reigns years ago, where they just forced it to have Roman Reigns be involved in the main event matches, is it actually worth? It's actually worth it, having him around, being a champ. Who knows? I think having Randy Orton as a heel champ with his last, Randy doesn't have much time left. He has a couple more years left. So if he has a chance to be champ, to be the 15-time champ, I think that would be something dope to have and have a long, outstanding run. So we'll see. We'll see how this turns out. We'll see how this becomes. I am going to go with Randy winning. I think Cody's done it all and done it at a very fast pace. I think Randy winning is going to be good for the business, and there's more you can do with a heel as champ and have everybody go after him rather than a face. Being a baby face and being a part of, how many more people do you take down? You can't create that many fights with the face going against whoever. A heel versus face is the easy way to do things. So I think if Randy Orton's the champ going forward, I think it's worth it. And hopefully, the fans, the fans and wrestling communities can all simmer down and shut up about, they don't get his TKO agenda. Everybody knows it's TKO driven. Like, you're putting everybody involved. There's so many people involved with these matches who are outside of wrestling. So, what the fuck are we gonna do, right? Just enjoy what we have and move forward. Moving forward to the next match, we have AJ Lee versus Becky Lynch for the Women's IC Championship. I was personally shocked that AJ Lee won when she did against Becky. I was expecting her to lose and then win it in Mania for her big moment, but she ended up, being champ, so good for her. I'm going to double it down on this. I don't think Becky needs a belt. I think there's a way you can maneuver her around and give her matches that'll work more. You don't need a belt to be consistent in the women's division outside of the WWE champ or the women's championship. So I'm going to lean more of AJ retaining, and maybe she gets more airtime going forward. But I think Becky losing twice to AJ is very form-fitting, especially in title matches. I think AJ Lee needs to be on TV more. So if she does in fact become that, then I think that's better for the business. If this is her retirement tour, right? She's not here for long. She said she wanted one more good, healthy run. So I think that is going to be something that we can enjoy 6 months to a year, be done by SummerSlam and, retire. Maybe she gets a Hall of Fame bid. I think she's done a Hall of Fame bid. But I think for now, I think her having the championship would be something I think more desirable and more enjoyable to have. Becky doesn't need a belt. I think Becky needs the Women's World Championship more than anything. And I think that'll happen in due time. So we'll go. But speaking of the Women's World Championship, we have Stephanie Vaquer versus Liv Morgan for the Women's World Championship. This is probably another champion retain, I feel like, because you're going to go and sit here and talk about, they've done a terrible job with Stephanie's run. Judgment Day needs a title. Judgment Day's done. I don't know what y'all got to say about this, but there's nothing left. This is another group that's going to be slowly teetering as we move forward into the new year, into the new season. And yeah, it's going to be, I think Stephanie wins outright. I don't think Liv Morgan wins this. I think this further pushes her into now doing her own thing and probably takes Dom with her. Quite possibly. I don't know what Roxanne's going to do. I don't know what everybody else considered. Dom's fighting, Finn. I don't know what Raquel's going to do. She's the muscle. She's changed her whole gimmick and it's for the better. So I think she'll soon be on her own singles run. I think there's another faction being slowly moved away going forward. So to me personally, I think this is going to be Let's Stephanie win. Let her continue doing what she's doing. I think she's doing a great job. I think the booking has to be better, but you don't have to stop booking her as a champ for it to work. You can keep having her as a champion and keep moving forward. So I got Stephanie back here winning this going forward. Moving forward, another probably a low-key banger. Seth Rollins versus Gunther in a singles match. Gunther's going to win this because I think the whole Legends Killer gimmick will continue. Rollins is already a made man. Rollins, no matter what happens, Rollins is going to be competing for world titles and anything you can name of, any big match, you can see Seth involved. Gunther needs to win more over time. I think he has matches ahead of him that he has to have, not including this one. But I feel that if Gunther wins this, then me personally, I think when the time comes, I think Gunther retires Brock Lesnar. I think he moves on to other wrestlers as well before he gets his championship. If Orton wins, maybe Orton holds a long belt and then Gunther retires him. I know he spoke about Gunther retiring Rey Mysterio. Originally, it was supposed to be Gunther and Rey Mysterio. I think that got nixed because Rey said he doesn't want to lose to anybody else but his son. So I think when you finally get that WrestleMania match, that's Rey versus Dom, maybe career versus career match, you're going to have that's the end of Rey Mysterio. But for Gunther, I think that him taking out Rollins is best, and Rollins can go on, maybe he goes after the Vision again. Who knows? Whenever Braun comes back or Bronson Reed comes back, whichever one comes back first and makes that faction stronger, if there is a faction by the time he comes back. So it is what it is. We move on to the women's fatal four-way. We're having Nia Jax and Lash Legend, who are the champs, versus Charlotte Flair. I can't type today. My goodness. Charlotte Flair versus Nia Jax and Lash Legend versus Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss versus Bayley and Lyra Valkyria versus the Bella Twins in the fatal four-way for the women's tag championship. This is honestly a pick'em because the Bells are back for one more run. So if they win it, it'd be perfectly fine. They're going to lose the belt in like 3 months anyways, but they'll help post the division the way the Dudleys did it when they came back after their Mania return. Bayley and Lyra would be a good option because you have those two coming together. I think Bayley is going to go single soon, but if she's still champ for the time being, so be it. Charlotte and Alexa are both in great standards. They should fight each other soon. There's tension growing between them. As much as you see them saying, "Oh, we're good, everything's okay," again, everybody knows you two are meant to fight each other instead of working with each other. So we'll see. And then, of course, if Nia Jax and Lash Legend retain, I have no problem with that too because it's it's a new tag team. Two wrestlers who need to have more airtime, and of course, why not have more airtime than when you're champion? Everybody's got to, teams got to go against you, right? So why not have them as champs? So if I had to pick, I'm going to say Nia Jax and Lash Legend retain. I just, when in doubt, call for the chance to retain. At least that's just me. That's neither here nor there. We go on to night 2. As I said before, ESPN says the first the first hour is going to be live on ESPN2, which is dope. That being said, Oba Femi versus Brock Lesnar is going to be free for the public. Oh man, let's get busy with this. If this ends up being a 5-minute match and Oba washes Brock Lesnar, but I got Oba winning. I don't have to speak on this anymore. Brock's gonna walk into the Hall of Fame. He's a made man. He's an ultimate money grab. Doesn't matter. He can lose. He can lose Sunday and show up in fucking July, and all of a sudden, our guy's back. You know what I mean? So I think Oba winning it gives him the stamp of approval saying this guy is legit. This guy is the real thing. And I honestly feel that this is going to be lead. It's going to lead for him to have a monster run, similar to what Lesnar had when he won his first year, when he beat Angle at Mania. That was WrestleMania. That was WrestleMania 19 main event. For the world for the Undisputed Championship. However, there's no belt involved, which is perfectly fine, but the stipulation doesn't change, and the moment for Obafemi means as much. If it's a 5-minute squash match, fuck it. It is what it is. As long as these guys beat the fuck out of each other for 5 minutes, I absolutely love it. Two heavyweights, rising star versus a Hall of Fame talent. Let's make that happen. If it's a 20-minute match and Oba gives Brock Lesnar a 20-minute quality run, quality work, this is going to be a plus as well, because you haven't seen. When's the last time you've seen Brock Lesnar get involved in an actual match where he's actually competing and not just 35 suplexes and 5 F5s to call it a day? You know what I mean? So I have Oba winning. I'm highly confident. I'll bet the house on this one. Our next match will be live on ESPN2. Will be the ladder match. I think it's a ladder match, right? I don't know if it's confirmed to be one, but if it is, yes, it is. It's a ladder match. Penta versus Javon Evans versus Dragon Lee versus JD McDonough versus Rusev versus Rey Mysterio in the IC Championship ladder match. I love the fact that they're putting ladder matches back at Mania. I miss TLC. I wish TLC became a thing. I don't mind Extreme Rules, but not every Extreme Rules match is anything else. Like, you just generalizing it, like make it specific: a tables match, a ladders match, a chairs match, whatever the case may be, first blood match, whatever it is. I think that comes along the lines of Extreme Rules, false count anywhere, lumberjack or lumberjill matches, Hell in a Cell, steel cages. That's all general, right? Bring back the days when you had Money in the Bank as the kickoff to WrestleMania. Now, granted, as great as those matches were, you had Shelton Benjamins, you had the Ric Flair drop, you had Punk winning, you had RVD involved with these matches. You can go on and on and on with all these great big moments of everybody going crazy when it comes to things. However, putting them together, I think, would be great. And that's what we're doing now, putting a IC Championship match, making it a ladder match on Mania, and it's going to be night 2, and it's free on ESPN. Give me a break. This is an automatic win for me. This is like, it's a dream come true. Speaking of Shelton Benjamin, when it comes to those big-time moments, you have that in Javon Evans, who is making his name match by match, week by week, PLE after PLE, and you have that here. Like, you have a new age version of a high flyer who is a good technical wrestler, that's charismatic, that's competitive. Penta's been, we've been asking Penta forever. Somebody like Penta, right? A charismatic luchador who does everything, which he does. Dragon Lee, another, I can call it a symbiote, as if like Rey Mysterio is is Venom or Carnage or whatever, but Dragon Lee is another variant of Rey Mysterio, another high flyer, explosive talent, right? JD McDonough, part of Judgment Day. Rusev, now he's back in WWE, and now he's back easy in Mania again. Like, that's dope. All right, cool. He's back in the match. And of course, the vet Rey Mysterio. You better appreciate this match for what it is, because Rey Mysterio's days are numbered. He's been on record saying he plans to retire soon. And like I said, when Dom retires Rey, when Dom and Rey go at it in a pay-per-view, hopefully it's WrestleMania. Don't fuck this up, Triple H. But yeah, I think when that happens, be grateful for Rey Mysterio. A lot of people didn't take John Cena for, were ungrateful for John Cena until they realized that this is the last run, and they started showing everything else. Like, we really gonna miss John Cena. No, I didn't care for John Cena when he was Super Cena, putting your favorite wrestlers, under, and never putting anybody over, just being the machine that is WWE, right? Rey Mysterio is not like that. Rey Mysterio is a beloved wrestler, beloved personality for the past, when he showed him 2002 on SmackDown, 24 years. He's been in WWE. Appreciate him while he's still here. That being said, I think Penta does win. However, don't be surprised if Javon Evans wins this. I think Penta deserves to keep going with his reign as IC champion. But Javon Evans with this field here, it's literally going to be Javon Evans versus Penta. I don't see a reason for Dragon Lee to be champion. I don't see JD McDonough being anything more than just a rotational side piece for Judgment Day. Hopefully, he's not nothing but like a comical stick, right? Because he's always been the butt of everybody's jokes, and he always gets fucking beat up first by anybody in matches, right? So hopefully, he gets a little more appreciation for what he is. As for Rusev, welcome back. You know, he's been around for a little bit now, getting some run, getting some TV time, which he did not get at AEW, right? But today is not the day, or tonight, or Sunday night will not be the night for him. The Rey Mysterio, there's no reason for him to have the belt. He's there for high flying antics and, you know, do it for the kids, because we as kids love that as Rey Mysterio. So I'm going with Penta, but I have a dark horse here. I'm gonna say Javon Evans wins it too. Probably going to be the main event of night 2 is going to be, actually, I think it is the main event night 2. CM Punk versus Roman Reigns. There's a lot. They really turned back the clock when it comes to content creation for this feud. A lot of disrespectful shit has been made by both Punk and Roman. Lots of you said that in public, not on TV. You would have been dealt with accordingly because of it. But there's a lot of layers to this. We have the Jay and Jimmy situation. You know, because of the family, you know, family business. The TKO side talking about, you know, fire me and this, that, and third by CM Punk with another pipe bomb, right? Who else is better on the mic than CM Punk? Can't name nobody better right now. Roman Reigns, however, is firing back. He just put out a video, I think it was this morning or last night, about him talking about CM Punk. Oh, you had the belt for almost a year. Relax. It's only been like 3 months, so easy there, kid. But you know, there's a great reason why Roman feels the way he feels. It goes back to him first starting out with the Shield, and Punk didn't want him in the Shield when he was building it with Paul Heyman. So there's a lot of reason too why he doesn't like CM Punk. Love him or him, CM Punk, he's not losing. I think, well, me personally, my bias, he's not losing. CM Punk is going to win the main event of night 2 of Mania. However, if I took away my bias, I just don't see a reason why Punk should lose. He did lose last year. He got his first main event, as he deservedly so. He should have had it, you know, 14, 15 years ago, 16 years ago, but you know, politics, right? Triple H politics, you know, the McMahon family politics. But that was years ago, totally different regimes. Now we're here now. He's champ. He should be, he should stay as champ. I think the growing concern that Reigns hasn't taken out Punk before Mania over the comments made by Punk regarding his dad, aka the Usos' uncle. I think Jay and Jimmy are offended by it. More so, Jay Uso's offended by it. And I think because of night 1, the Usos are not going to win. I think that's really going to piss off fucking Jay. I think Jay is going to cost Roman the title because he wants to interfere to beat CM Punk up for what he said or what he's been doing, right? And I think that fight is going to kick off his heel turn, and he'll officially be like that asshole. But then again, like now he's gonna go after Roman Reigns being the tribal chief. You know, it's all laid right there for you. If you go down that route, I'm sure if you were to think of any other reasons why Roman should win and take over the belt, there's plenty of layers, which I think WWE's done a great job for this feud because you can really pick whatever you want. You know, you can pick Roman Reigns winning and why he wins, right? You have different avenues. Then you have CM Punk winning and why he wins. You have different avenues for that, and you can create storylines going forward, right? So I think as a win, whoever wins is going to be, it doesn't matter, right? It's going to be a great match nonetheless. It's not like, oh, someone needs this more than the other. I personally think CM Punk, both a biased and non-biased decision, I think CM Punk wins the main event of Night 2 of Mania. However, this match will be more of a must win for the champ. Jade Cargill versus Rhea Ripley for the women's championship. Jade, I have Jade winning. Not because Rhea needs a championship. I think, again, she's a made woman on the roster. And she's almost as close as you can get to a Hall of Famer without being a Hall of Famer. I think that they've executed the idea of Jade being a legitimate talent since they put the belt on her, right? And as much as you want it, this was supposed to be Bianca Belair versus Jade for the championship. And I think that they couldn't get it done because of Bianca's injury. Now, for those who don't know, there was rumor that Bianca Belair was pregnant, right? But come to find out, she had her finger surgery, and whatever happened with her finger, it was a very weird situation that happened. But she can't grip anything. She can't grab, anything with the hand. So she's struggling post-op surgery, and she had another procedure done. So you don't know how it is from the nerves to the fingers to what's going to happen. Obviously, need your hands, right? You're not going to wrestle with fucking 9 fingers. Quality of life is a little different. But she's still out for a while, so I think they're probably going to kick the can down the line and give Jade more opportunity to grow as a wrestler. She's very green. I'm a big fan of hers, but she has a lot of work to do when it comes to wrestling. I do think that she has an opportunity to be something bigger than herself. I just don't know when that's going to be the case, but we'll see. I think if she wins it, then that means that she'll continue to be pushed. However, for Rhea, if she wins, I think you put a more established champion, a more established wrestler as champion, and it'll be something that is bigger than what it is going forward. Now you have somebody everybody's got to chase after, right? That being said, I think Jade wins. I think either way, you're going to have a good match. But I think Jade needs this more than Rhea. It's been a moderately, I don't call it meh or mid, but it's been a weak build. Similar to Stephanie, right? Similar to Stephanie Vacchier, I think she's had a moderately weak booking for her as her reign as women's champ. I think that having Jade win will further validate her as, hey, like, we believe in Jade. Does it work out? Probably not. Rhea may win this, but I'm personally going to go with Jade Cargill defeating Rhea Ripley and retaining the championship. Moving forward, we have Finn Balor versus Dom Mysterio. This one, I think, is more. I think we've been waiting for Finn Balor to finally have an opportunity to grow from what it was in the first place. The simple fact, the fact that he's been a placeholder, and again, just like JD McDonough and most of Judgment Day, they've been whipping boys and the butt of everybody's jokes for a while. I think that we needed a new change. Not just we as the wrestling fan, but we as the community kind of realized that, hey, Finn Balor has been moderately bad. You know what I mean? Like we need something different going forward. And to be able to see Finn come back and be in his own and be a singles guy again, and possibly bringing back the Demon for this match, I think will be so much better. I think having him win is the right decision. I think they should do that moving forward, having Finn win outright. But it's not much to say. You know, Dom being who he is, he'll be fine regardless. But Finn needs his match. I think Finn's gonna have to win this and move forward and be validated. Hey, I'm not a bum. I'm actually like one of the better wrestlers. We haven't seen Finn get loved the way he did when he lost, when he got the rotator cuff, the shoulder surgery, and was out of the wrestling picture when he won the belt, right? And then he gets hurt, has to drop the belt, and we never see anything from him ever again, right? It's like, yo, what the fuck's going on? What is this? What is that? Like, you know, now that was, I don't know, 7-8 years ago. When was the last time ask yourself, when was the last time you had Finn Balor being relevant on WWE TV as a singles attraction? You know, but the fact that we get that now and a chance to see him, I think we get the Demon. The Demon's gonna be back, and it's gonna be one hellacious match. And I think Balor's gonna win this. Another interesting match is coming together. Is going to go one of two ways, and either way is going to be polar opposites. We got Sami Zayn versus Trick Williams for the United States Championship. I think it's good that Sami Zayn won. I think it's good that Sami Zayn has a belt and has any bit of relevancy to his name because he was fading fast going forward. Another one. But everybody jokes, I get big matches and lose on when it matters the most, right? And he finally wins the belt. And, good. So now he's got something to his name. However, there's a bit of disdain for him, and there's a bit of like, do we care that Sami Zayn is champion? Like that kind of vibe to it, right? And then you got a rising star, just like Obafemi. You got a fucking rising star in Trick Williams, who has all the crowd, has one of the best intros, best intro music in the business. And he's just so over as a wrestler, just being a good wrestler as he is. He right now cannot do no wrong. So I personally think Trick Williams wins it. I think this is going to be the beginning of his run. I think that Sami Zayn is going to fall into purgatory and is going to change his gimmick and change his spiel. And maybe we get a much needed character change. He goes from face to heel and he becomes, that asshole again that no one liked when he had the hat and the beard and the jacket, right? We get that again. And yeah, so I think Trick wins this. If Sammy wins, then we're gonna get this continued trend of what he's doing until it's fine to turn over. Maybe Kevin Owens comes back, and we get the same versus Owens again for the U.S. title. That'd be cool. But that's one way of thinking it. I think Trick Williams is going to win the belt and start his true reign as being a legitimate player in the wrestling in WWE, not just wrestling business, but in WWE altogether. So, hey man, this is going to be interesting. I don't know, based upon the card, who is better, what's better, night one or night two. I low-key think night two might be better, but there's a couple of hidden gems in night one that'll really like, hey, you got to pay this, pay this ticket, we gotta go. Let's put in ask your mom, your dad, your grandma, your grandpa, your auntie, your best friend, your girlfriend, your wife, whatever. I need money for the PLE. So it's on ESPN. The first hour is going to be live on ESPN2. And it's gonna be, listen, I'm hyped. I want to say I'm a WWE advocate. We have other things to talk about. We have AEW, NXT, TNA. Like, yeah, it's cool. Yeah. Right now, I don't have time for that. This is all about Mania. This is all about what's going on. This is the show of shows. They've had a whole year to get to this point, and we're here now, right? So it's good. So, It's quite simply just this is the place to be. This is it. So if you're a wrestling fan, you have to watch WrestleMania. Find a stream. Find, I don't know where you guys go to find your streams at, your platforms to do things at. Find something. But I believe the show starts at 6 on Saturday and Sunday. The first hour is free ESPN2, and then basically 7 o'clock to whenever they're done is when they're good to go. You know what I'm saying? So, but that'll do it for today's episode on the Sunset Flip Wrestling Podcast. We appreciate you guys tuning in. Shout out everybody checking and watching up. I appreciate it. We appreciate it. Truly. If your link tree is going from right to left, hit that. Check out all our platforms. We are live on anywhere you have your social media: YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Threads, Facebook, Instagram, you name it, we're on it. If you can check us out on here as we're going live, we have the playbacks on YouTube, on Twitter, on Twitch. If you can't check out the videos, we have the audios and where you get your audio platforms from. You get them on Apple, Spotify, Google Podcasts, you name it, we are on it. So check us out. You'll be getting updates from us throughout the entire weekend. So be ready for a gem of a weekend. That being said, before I sign off on this, thank you for guys tuning in. Make sure WrestleMania is on your schedule for the weekend going forward. I'm a big basketball guy, so the Knicks play at 6. I gotta double duty this, but yeah, it's on ESPN. First hour is live, free on ESPN2 on Saturday and Sunday. So you get a lot of opportunities to watch the shows. If it intrigues you enough, if you're new to wrestling, you just see it pop on your screen. Watch it anyways. Check it out. What else you do on Saturday night? If not a day to go and watch anything else, put it on. Why not? All right. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Till next time, take care and thank you.